In 1994, Tpo Uganda, then registered and known as International Institute for Psychosocial and Socio-Ecological Research, or IPSA, headquartered at Makerere University, set out to address the mental health needs of refugees in Uganda's West Nile districts of Koboko, Moyo and Adjumani.
At that time, it was called International Institute for Psychosocial and Socio-Ecological Research, founded by Professor Yop de Jong and others. It was meant to complete its mandate of understanding the transcultural and mental health needs of communities at that time. Those studies were being conducted on behalf of UNHCR. That is how IPSA, as it was called then, started work in Uganda, mostly focusing on the refugee camps.
1999, IPSA localized operations and rebranded into the Transcultural Psychosocial Organization, commonly known as Tpo Uganda.
When the war broke out in South Sudan, we experienced a lot of traumatic events, like jumping over a dead person, seeing somebody being killed, and above all, how they arrested my husband and what they did to me when the children were there. It was the real hell on earth, and we thought hell was somewhere else.
After 5 years, it could have wound up and left the country. However, the strategy was, if there was a local team of Ugandans who were interested in moving this work forward, then there would be a mechanism that would allow them to carry on this work and then form an NGO. So that's how we became the first organization to start delivering mental health services within host populations.
Tpo Uganda's interventions are delivered under 7 thematic areas, including mental, neurological and substance use disorders, child care and protection, gender-based violence prevention and mitigation, HIV/AIDS prevention, care and support, disaster risk prevention and response, livelihood support, and organizational development and sustainability. For all these, Tpo Uganda targets addressing the most pressing needs and building the resilience of communities for sustainable impact.
TPO's support stirred back my hope. So with all the therapy they have given me, it has given me the strength to handle myself. I know how to manage my stresses.
The intervention of TPO has enabled the community to send their children, more especially girl children, to school and continue with their education.
The very biggest achievement is the consistency and growth in our operation, and that for me speaks confidence and satisfaction from the beneficiaries or individuals that we serve.
This worthwhile journey has been made possible by the support of the Government of Uganda through the Office of the Prime Minister, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and other line ministries.
We have worked together as we are developing the Mental Health Act, but also for the strategic plan, ensure that children who are on treatment actually are getting virus-free in order for them to really manage to reduce their viral loads.
From really a small TPO organization to now an organization that has 3 components. We have TPO, the NGO, we have TPO, the Resource Center, we have TPO, the microfinance.
Tpo Uganda was the only organization which was providing mental health services to the refugees. So there arose a need to build the capacity of organizations that were working with the refugee population. We registered the Resource Center,
which is the business arm of TPO, taking the learnings from implementation and proposals and grants that we have learned and being able to package this in services which we can share with other partners.
Around 2022, Tpo Uganda developed a new line of intervention called microfinance and tested it with a partner called Centenary Bank that gave very encouraging results.
Before I joined Tpo, I was running my business of carpentry, but I didn't know how to save properly and use the money.
They take us through financial literacy, how we are managing our resources.
The final component meant giving these groups a grant. So the business component is picking the leaf from the grant approach into a microfinance approach so they don't slide back to the mental situation, especially as a result of economic situation.
They give us startup capital among 12 members. Then they told us if we manage this money well, 1 year, we have to sell it out. Then each and everyone has to start his or her business. That was the time where our children started to take porridge with the sugar.
Three decades later, Tpo Uganda has extended to 73 districts with a team of over 300 dedicated staff and a budget of 33 billion Uganda shillings, reaching over 5.5 million direct and indirect beneficiaries with the generous support of over 52 partners.
The ability to work with others. So coming together as different NGOs doing different pieces, they get funding and then they deliver, leading to a result.
Let's work together, let's collaborate and be able to provide the much needed support to those that need it.
In order to make sure that the organization can deliver with maximum impact, efficiently, and sustainably.
That level of individual commitment translates into good performance.
It's one thing for you to do good, it's another thing for you to demonstrate that it works. And the way you do that is using data and evidence. Therefore, we should stop doing what the data doesn't support and refine whatever we do according to what the evidence or the data supports.
As we celebrate 30 years, we have set up the structures, we have set up the systems. We have a very strong team, highly qualified, highly competent team. I strongly believe that the best days of TPO are ahead.
I'm glad to be leading this team, and I look forward to learning with you and coming to visit you and sit with you and learn in the way that we were taught as we were kids, learning by being there with you. So thank you for everything you do. It's not in vain. You just might be saving a life.